In this video, I'm going to be exploring the connection between breastfeeding and estrogen levels in women. We'll look at how breastfeeding can affect a woman's body and what it means for her health long-term. 1. What is the connection between breastfeeding and estrogen levels in women? The connection between breastfeeding and estrogen levels in women is largely unknown, but some research suggests that breastfeeding may be associated with lower than normal levels of the hormone estrogen. This could potentially lead to a reduced risk of certain diseases or conditions related to high estrogen levels, such as breast cancer or endometriosis. 2. How does breastfeeding affect a woman's body? When a woman is breastfeeding, her body undergoes several physiological changes that can help reduce levels of estrogen. During lactation, the hormone prolactin helps stimulate milk production and suppresses the release of follicle-stimulating hormone FSH and luteinizing hormone LH. FSH and LH are hormones involved in ovulation, so when these hormones are suppressed during breastfeeding, it reduces estrogen levels. Additionally, the presence of breast milk has been shown to inhibit the growth of certain types of receptors for estrogen in the uterus. This can help reduce levels of unbound or free circulating estrogen in a woman's body. 3. How does breastfeeding impact a woman's long-term health? Research indicates that breastfeeding may have long-term health benefits for women. Studies suggest that breastfeeding can reduce the risk of developing breast and ovarian cancer, as well as other chronic diseases such as cardiovascular disease and metabolic syndrome. Additionally, authors of a 2020 study found that a longer duration of breastfeeding was associated with higher levels of anti-inflammatory hormones in the body, which are thought to be protective against age-related diseases. This suggests that nursing for longer periods could provide more protection from certain illnesses later in life. While much research is still needed to understand the link between breastfeeding and long-term health outcomes, it appears that nursing has great potential to positively influence a woman's overall well-being. 4. What are the benefits of breastfeeding for a woman's health? Research has shown that breastfeeding can provide a number of benefits for a woman's health. One major benefit is the reduction in the risk of breast cancer. Studies have shown that women who breastfeed their babies for at least 6 months have reduced risk of developing breast cancer later in life. This could be due to the fact that breastfeeding lowers estrogen levels, and high levels of estrogen are believed to be linked to an increased risk of developing certain types of cancers. Another important benefit is related to postpartum depression and other mental health issues, as research indicates that breastfeeding releases hormones such as oxytocin and prolactin, which can help reduce stress and promote relaxation, aiding with mood regulation. Additionally, breastfeeding has been shown to contribute to better bone health, decrease the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease, and improve overall well-being. 5. Does breastfeeding affect a woman's hormone levels? Yes, breastfeeding affects a woman's hormone levels. The hormones released during lactation, such as prolactin, oxytocin, and estrogens, can have an effect on a woman's body. Prolactin helps to stimulate milk production, while oxytocin aids in the contraction of the uterus and breasts after childbirth. Estrogen levels are also affected by breastfeeding due to a decrease in estrogen production when lactating, which can lead to lower bone density and an increased risk of developing osteoporosis. Additionally, studies suggest that breastfeeding may influence the menstrual cycle due to its effects on hormonal fluctuation and ovulation patterns. While more research is needed to confirm these findings, it is clear that breastfeeding does affect a woman's hormone levels. It is important to note, however, that the effects of breastfeeding on a woman's hormones are not all negative. Studies have found that prolonged lactation can reduce a woman's risk of developing certain cancers such as breast and ovarian cancer due to its protective effect against estrogen production. Thus, while breastfeeding may affect a woman's hormone levels, it is still an important part of postpartum care and should be encouraged in order to promote maternal health. 6. Are there any risks to breastfeeding for a woman's health? Yes, there are potential risks associated with breastfeeding. Women who breastfeed for longer periods of time may have an increased risk of developing estrogen-related conditions, such as endometriosis and uterine fibroids. However, these risks are very small, and studies suggest that the positive benefits of breastfeeding outweigh any potential risks. Estrogen levels tend to be lower in women who breastfeed, which can help reduce their risk of developing certain types of cancer. Additionally, some studies suggest that long-term breastfeeding may be beneficial for maintaining bone density later in life. In general, short-term or occasional breastfeeding is not likely to cause any major health complications. Ultimately, it is important to speak to your doctor before starting a new feeding routine so they can help you decide if breastfeeding is right for you. 7. What are the best practices for breastfeeding and maintaining healthy estrogen levels? The American Academy of Pediatrics and the World Health Organization both recommend breastfeeding for at least 6 months, but preferably up to 1 year. Breastfeeding helps to reduce a mother's estrogen levels, which can lead to beneficial effects on her health. Additionally, limiting exposure to environmental estrogens is also recommended. This includes avoiding products with phthalates or parabens commonly found in cosmetics and skincare products, as well as avoiding plastic containers that contain BPA or BPS chemicals. Eating organic produce and meat can also help reduce exposure to these estrogens since they are commonly used in agricultural pesticides and fertilizers. Finally, exercising regularly is important for maintaining healthy hormone levels overall. Regular exercise has the added benefit of helping to reduce stress and improve overall health. We've discussed the link between breastfeeding and estrogen levels, as well as how to best support healthy hormone regulation. To recap, breastfeed for at least 6 months, limit exposure to environmental estrogens, eat organic produce and meat when possible, and exercise regularly. If you have any additional questions or tips on this topic that we haven't covered here today, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful content.